Good evening. Tonight, a seismic shift in the global auto industry. Ontario has halted all exports of advanced electric vehicle batteries to the US, sending shockwaves through North American carmakers. Meanwhile, Europe celebrates a $20 billion deal with Ontario, securing a steady battery supply now denied to the US. This deal reroutes a critical energy lifeline, leaving the US auto sector in a precarious position. Ontario's bold move declares economic independence and upends the global EV market. Stay with us as we break down Ontario's stunner, Europe's windfall, and the new world order in electric vehicles. Why did Ontario draw a line in the sand? Frustration grew as Ontario invested billions in battery tech, but benefits flowed south to the US trade policies favored American jobs, leaving Ontario feeling cornered. The Premier declared Ontario would no longer subsidize American jobs with Canadian innovation. It's about economic sovereignty. Ontario's resources will benefit its own economy first. As US-Canada tensions rose, Europe saw an opening. Europe's auto industry, desperate to reduce reliance on Asian battery suppliers, moved fast. The European consortium, Volkswagen, BMW, Stellantis, offered Ontario more than money, joint R&D centers, investment in mining, and a promise to build a full battery ecosystem in the province. Negotiations were quiet but intense, with Europe offering respect and shared prosperity. The deal includes long-term price guarantees, technology transfer, and workforce training. For Ontario, it was a comprehensive package, everything the US wouldn't offer. For Europe, it's a strategic masterstroke, a stable, ethical battery supply, and a new transatlantic alliance. The deal strengthens Europe's position in the global EV race and reduces dependence on volatile regions. Europe turned a North American dispute into a European triumph. This agreement will shape the continent's industrial future for years to come. The North American auto industry has long operated as a single, integrated system. Batteries, the most crucial EV component, were Ontario's specialty. Critical minerals mined in Canada were processed and turned into batteries, then shipped just in time to US assembly plants. Ontario's decision severs this lifeline, leaving US automakers facing immediate shortages. Building new battery plants or mining operations in the US will take years and billions. The system was built on uninterrupted flow. Now, that assumption is shattered. America's focus on final assembly left it dependent on Ontario for the most valuable part, the battery. The Build America policies, meant to onshore the supply chain, may have backfired. By alienating Ontario, the US exposed its own vulnerabilities. The result? A supply chain crisis that could set back the American EV industry for years. Washington's reaction: shock, anger, and urgent diplomacy. The White House was blindsided, calling Ontario's move a reckless act of economic betrayal. Officials argue it violates the spirit of the USMCA trade agreement. Emergency calls with Ottawa are underway to determine if this is a provincial or national stance. American automakers warn of imminent factory shutdowns and mass layoffs if batteries don't flow soon. Lobbyists demand swift action. Tariffs, trade disputes, anything to restore the supply chain. Lawmakers from auto states call for retaliation, fueling calls for an even more aggressive America First policy. Behind the scenes, US officials scramble for leverage. Can Ottawa overrule Ontario? Can domestic battery plants be fast-tracked? The reality: there are no quick fixes. The US needs Ontario's batteries more than Ontario needs the US, especially with Europe's deal in hand. Washington's fury is real, but so is its sudden realization of strategic dependency. The US is in a bind and the world is watching. The stakes for American industry and workers have never been higher. The fallout is global. creating winners and losers across 3 continents. In the US, auto plants face shutdowns, threatening tens of thousands of jobs in the industrial heartland. The pain will ripple through suppliers and communities, hitting families hard. For Europe, it's a massive win. The $20 billion deal secures their auto sector, accelerates EV production, and spurs green investment. In Ontario, the future looks bright. Thousands of new jobs in manufacturing, research, and mining. But some Canadian suppliers tied to the US market may suffer in the short term. Ontario is gambling on long-term prosperity and independence, trading certainty for a shot at global leadership. Beyond the numbers, the human cost is real. American families face layoffs and uncertainty. European engineers see new opportunities. Young people in Northern Ontario may finally find good jobs at home. One government decision is reshaping lives and economies worldwide. The stakes are personal as well as political. Ontario's move is a calculated bet on Canada's future. It's about more than batteries. It's about national identity and economic self-determination. Canada, long in the shadow of its superpower neighbor, is leveraging its vast mineral wealth and technological know-how. The strategy process minerals and manufacture high-tech products at home, capturing more value. The blockade against the US is a tool to force this value-added model into reality. There's a new assertiveness in Canadian politics. Relying on one partner is now seen as a vulnerability. The European deal lets Canada build a powerful new economic bridge across the Atlantic. It's a high-risk, high-reward strategy. If Europe doesn't deliver, or if the US retaliates, the consequences could be severe. But Ontario believes its control over critical resources gives it a strong hand. Canada wants to be a rule-maker, not a rule-taker, in the new global economy. The outcome of this bet will shape the country's future for generations. The world is watching to see if it pays off. The Ontario-Europe deal redraws the global battery map. For years, Asia, especially China, South Korea, and Japan, dominated batteries. The US and Europe scrambled to catch up. Now, a Canada-Europe alliance forms a powerful third bloc, challenging Asian dominance. This Western partnership offers a stable, ethical alternative for automakers and tech firms. It could drive down prices, spur innovation, and diversify the global supply chain. The US will now accelerate its own battery independence, pouring money into new plants and seeking new partners. Expect a new era of friendshoring as countries build supply chains with trusted allies. Nations with critical minerals, like Canada, realize their leverage and demand a bigger share of manufacturing and technology. The battery is becoming the new oil, a resource that shapes alliances and economies. The global battery map is being redrawn in real time. The world's power dynamics are shifting before our eyes. The global battery market has entered a period of profound uncertainty and realignment. The US and Canada face intense, high-stakes negotiations. Will the rift heal, or is this break permanent? The US will race to build new supply chains, fast-tracking mines and factories, while Europe and Canada solidify their new partnership. This is a construction boom for the green economy, driven by geopolitics. Other countries will re-examine their own supply chains and alliances, seeking security in a volatile world. Nations with lithium, cobalt, and nickel will become pivotal players in this new great game. The era of simple, globalized battery supply chains is over. We are entering an age of battery geopolitics, regional blocs, strategic competition, and the weaponization of resources. The Ontario-Europe deal is just the beginning of a new chapter. The race for the battery will determine not just what cars we drive, but which nations lead the 21st century economy. Technology, power, and national interest are now inseparable. The world is watching, and the stakes have never been higher.